welcome back to my channel, or if you're here for the first time, welcome to you. This is my second food collaboration video with the very lovely Caroline, Kirsten and Karin, and you have no idea how difficult all those K's and C's are making life. For this video we decided that we would do a kind of a budget challenge. We realise it's not very budgety, and we realise that lots of you out there are managing on a lot less than we've used for this video. But we decided we would do 3 meals, each feeding 4 people for no more than £20 in total. So that's a total of 12 meals for £20 essentially. Having given this some thought, my total came to about £16.54. I think I will put that on the screen when I've double checked. But yeah, well under the £20, so there would have been some money left for pudding, to be honest, if you wanted it. So having given it some thought, I decided that the cheapest way to do this was to focus the meals around chicken, and I went to Home Bargains and to Farm Foods to purchase my shopping for this. So there are 3 meals in this video. Each will feed 4 people, and I think it's fair to say they'll feed 4 people comfortably. In fact, I did have a little bit of chicken left over at the end, which I gave to my dogs. So you could certainly have bulked them out a bit more if you had hungry eaters in your household. Certainly if you were 2 adults and 2 children, there would have been ample food. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please do make sure you pop over to the ladies' channels. As I said, this is a collaboration video, so please do pop over to Caroline Mrs M, to Kirsten at Kirsten's Curiosities, and to Karin the Sewing Thrifters channels. I'm going to pop their links in below for you to all of their videos. Watch their videos, make sure you leave them a thumbs up and a comment, let them know that you came from me if that's what's happened. If you've come here from those ladies' channels, welcome. I hope you like what you find here, and if you would like to subscribe, I would be delighted to have you as a new subscriber. So if you fancy that, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below, and if you also press the notifications bell, you'll get notified when I upload new content. My content is varying a great deal at the moment. I started out as an eBay reseller, but I'm varying my content all over the place while I try and decide what I like to do best. So with all that said, let's jump into the video and see what I cooked with my £20. So for this cooking challenge, I have bought everything I need for my 3 recipes from Farm Foods and Home Bargains. In Farm Foods, I spent a total of £9.52. In Home Bargains, I spent £5.53. So I'm well under the £20 budget, but there will be a couple of things that I add to this that are store cupboard ingredients, which you might need to buy if you don't have them. So I figured leaving that £4 odd that's left over in the budget, £4 or £5 left over in the budget, I'll work out exactly and put it on the screen, would cover those store cupboard ingredients if you needed to buy them. I don't need to buy them, I already have them. So I have got 2 bags of boneless chicken thighs from Farm Foods. They're £2.99 a bag. Each bag is 2 kilos, I think. Sorry, each bag is 1 kilo, so I've got 2 kilos for £6. Chicken breast was 1 kilo for £5, so it worked out cheaper to buy thighs. Because they're boneless, I should get plenty of meat and not have to faff about too much. I've got a bag of country mixed vegetables, some tomato puree, 2 bags of potatoes. Sorry, I should be telling you how much. The country mixed vegetables I think were £1. Yeah, they were £1. The stir-fry vegetables over here were another £1. But these vegetables are also 5 bags for £4. So if you were properly stocking up, you could save extra and end up paying about 80p per bag. Tomato puree was 49p. 2 bags of potatoes. These are Home Bargains and they are 79p a bag. I think. I tell a lie, they are 69p a bag. So I wasn't 100% sure 1 bag would be enough, so I got 2. So 138 on my potatoes. The gravy granules, that exact pot of gravy granules was 99p in Farm Foods, and I walked around the corner and paid 79p in Home Bargains. So that's worth knowing. I've got a store cupboard onion that I'm going to use, but I estimate it cost me about 25p, although it isn't in today's shopping. And then I've got noodles that were 99p. Chow mein sauce that was 99p, and there's 3 in there. Those noodles are 59p. I could have got 2 of those. I've also got rice because I haven't decided whether one of my recipes is going to be rice or noodles. So I've bought both and it's still in under the budget. Pot of Elmley double cream, well, cream substitute. Some smoked back bacon. And I've already mentioned the chow mein sauce, haven't I? So there we go. I've spent £15 and that's almost everything I need for 3 meals for 4 people. So I'm well under the budget so far, providing I don't find that I've missed anything and have to buy anything extra. There we go, 3 meals for 4 people under 20 quid. I'm going to cook all of my chicken in one go for all 3 meals, get it all done. I put it into the slow cooker, it's on low. As you can see, I'm cooking it from frozen. That's a lot of chicken there, that's 2 kilos of chicken. Because it's only about 11 o'clock in the morning at the moment and I don't need this until dinner tonight, I'm just going to cook it on low all day basically. That way it'll be perfectly cooked through. The fact that I've started it from frozen won't be an issue. If I was going to do it in the pressure cooker, I can do it in 20 minutes from frozen. But I don't need it in a hurry, so it can go in the slow cooker and take as long as it likes. I am going to add a couple of chicken stock cubes and a couple of pints of boiling water. There we go, 2 pints of chicken stock going in. And slightly burning my finger as it goes in. Lovely. That's that in there. And then we'll find the lid. Lid's on. I will leave that merrily on low for most of the day. I'll come back and redistribute it a bit because some of it's sticking out of the stock. So I'll come back and give it a stir in a bit next time I come downstairs for anything. And that will cook away quite merrily most of the day.
Later.
Okay, so this is all of that chicken. It's had about 5 hours, give or take, on low. As you can see, it's produced quite a lot of water of its own. It had 2 pints of liquid in there, 2 pints of chicken stock, but it's produced quite a lot extra. But it is all nicely cooked now. Just goes to show you how small these pieces end up though. They went in a lot bigger than that. So one of the issues of buying frozen chicken is the amount of water that's added. I'm going to fish those out of there. I'm going to let the stock cool down and take the fat off and then keep the stock for gravy. Chicken. That can just drain off and cool. And that's all the chicken I'm going to need for all of the meals I'm going to cook. I'll take the slow cooker out of the base because then it will cool down a bit quicker because the base retains heat a little. Okay, so my first meal for this second collaboration video is a very simple chicken dinner. You've already seen that I've cooked the chicken for all of the meals ahead of time. So I'm just about to do the roast potatoes that go with it. I'm sure hundreds of you have cooked hundreds of roast potatoes before, but I'm going to show you very quickly how I'm going to do it anyway. Going to be absolutely horrified by the state of my kitchen. I'm horrified. That's not what I was going to say. You're going to be absolutely horrified by the fact that I'm not going to parboil these potatoes. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I roast potatoes in the traditional way by parboiling them, fluffing up the edges, putting them into the hot oil, blah, blah, blah. But other times I do them the way my dad used to do them. So he never parboiled. He would just cut them longer rather than smaller and fatter. And then again, he would, of course, he would heat the oil because you can't do roast potatoes without hot oil. But they would go into the hot oil, and Dad's roast potatoes, just different to the ordinary kind. So I'm going to do them Dad's way today. in some kind of weird memorial of my dad. So I've got my pan, good old nicely stained roasting pan. That's got some oil in it, which I'm trying not to tip all over the kitchen floor. That's going to go into the oven. The oven is preheated to 200 degrees C. I can never remember whether C is centigrade or Celsius, but I'm C not F. I remember that bit. I'll put it in if I remember. And so my oil's going to go in until it's smoking hot, and then my potatoes are going in a minute. So my oil is hot. My spuds are going in. Turn them to make sure they are coated in the oil. And make sure they sit with their flat side facing upwards to start off with, because they are more likely to stick the larger the surface area that's on the pan. So if their flat side is facing upwards, less danger of them sticking to the pan until they've got a crispy outer on them. Then you can turn them over and they don't have any danger of sticking them. There we go, they're all in. They've all got a nice coating of oil on them, and that's going into the oven for probably the best part of an hour. But I will come back and check in about 30 minutes. There we go, they've got nice crispy edges. They're beginning to be done in the middle, but they're not quite done. Bit of a prod there, definitely not quite done. So they're having their first turn now because the edges are crisped up. So I'm not so worried they'll stick. That one's a bit stuck. Let's see, there's always one that proves me a liar. He must have had a bigger surface area than the rest. Okay, those are going back in now. They've been in about 20 minutes or so, so probably another 10 to 15 minutes will do them. In here is my chicken cooking liquid. I suppose it's broth really. It's got quite a lot of bits of chicken in it. I'm going to add some gravy granules to that. So it's on a high heat. It's on a high heat, and I'm not going to measure, I'm just going to shake some in. And then I will stand and whisk it for a bit and see how it's looking. And then maybe put some more in. Ended up using probably about half the pot of gravy. And it's made a nice thick, sorry, half the pot of granules. And it's made a nice thick gravy. As you can see while I'm stirring it there, it's got a nice thick gloopy gravy with all of that chickeny bits in it as well. So then I washed my pan out, I put it back on with boiling water, a little bit of salt in there, not a lot because I think that gravy's pretty salty. Even though I didn't add salt, those gravy granules can be quite salty, so I haven't put a lot of salt in the veg. But I'm going to put my bag of country mixed vegetables in there. I'm doing the whole bag. They've gone in and I've put the lid on long enough for them to come to the boil. I'll take the lid off as soon as they start coming back to the boil, but putting the lid back on just speeds that up slightly. Quick peek at the potatoes, they're looking good. Alright, so my veg are bubbling away nicely. We'll have that lid off now. That'll be done in seconds. Let's get the spuds out. Operating you one-handed now, so excuse any wobbly camera work. Oh dear. Okay. Ah yeah, oh I've steamed up my glasses. Spuds are out, know where to put them. They're looking good. Looking really good. So you do not have to parboil your roasties. I'm going to strain the veg, I'll be back. Veg on plates. There we go, food for 4. I've only put gravy on 2 of the plates so far because 2 of the plates are for another day. So that's mine and Anthony's dinner for tonight. Natalie will have one tomorrow, and then we've got 1 spare dinner. But yeah, food for 4 done and dusted. Hello, tonight's recipe is chicken and bacon potato bake. So I have sliced my onion. That's supposed to be a tablespoon of oil, but I think it was a bit generous. So large frying pan, on medium heat. It's on 5 and it's going in there with the sliced bacon that I bought. That's in the pan together. So I sliced the bacon. It was supposed to be neat slices, but it didn't work that way. And it's just going to cook down quite merrily there on a low heat until it's done, basically. There I have now added a load of diced cold chicken from the chicken that I cooked yesterday. Excuse the dogs. Dogs are about to go out for their walk and they're very excited. So that's now the sliced onion, the sliced bacon, and the diced chicken is in there as well now. Let that cook down a bit more, and I'm going to put in a teaspoon of mixed herbs. I said a teaspoon, but what I actually mean is a random shaking. That's nearly gone. Luckily I have more. Probably ended up with slightly more than a teaspoon because I took the lid off and chucked in whatever was left in the pot. There we go. Give that another stir around, let it cook down a bit further. Give it a shake. I'm not sure what difference a shake makes, but it makes me feel more chefy. I've peeled a few potatoes and I'm just cutting them into slices. They're maybe a centimetre thick. Maybe they should be slightly smaller. I might try and slice a few thinner ones. So yeah, I'll cut some thinner ones in there, maybe half the size. I think they'll probably cook quicker if they're thinner. Well, they'll definitely cook quicker if they're thinner because that's science, Carla. So I've taken my chicken and bacon mixture off the heat. I've put my pan on. Everybody has a favourite burner, don't they? This is my one. This is my favourite hob ring. I don't know why. My pan's on. That's going to be brought to the boil and that's it. You don't need to actually boil them. Just bring them to the boil and then drain them because they can continue cooking in the oven in a bit. So in the jug is a pint of chicken stock, and this is from when I cooked the chicken yesterday, and then I've got some Elmley double creamy substitute, I suppose that is. The recipe calls for double cream. I picked up Elmley because that's what Home Bargains had, and I'm going to combine these two in a bowl, whisk them together, and you'll see what we do in a minute. Oh, sorry, I'm going to take, this is the solidified fat on the chicken. I'm going to take that off first. I'm not whisking that in. Sorry, I should have mentioned that. It's where it was in the fridge overnight. So then into my large baking dish, I'm going to put my meat mixture in the bottom, drained my potatoes, and the next stage is to layer those over this. Try and do it without burning my fingers would be ideal. There's my potatoes all layered on, and then I'm going to pour my cream mixture over it. And that's going into the oven on 200 for about an hour, apparently. It does say if it starts to brown too much on top to cover it with foil, so we will check on it and see if we need to put a foil lid on it at some point. Okay, I've added a little foil lid to that because it was browning. Whoa, it steamed up. It's browning far too quickly. In the steamer, I've got some broccoli and cauliflower to have with it. Excuse all the background noise, by the way. I've got the dishwasher on and the tumble dryer and all sorts going on in here. That's how we look. It's been in about 3/4 of an hour. I've just taken the foil lid off. I'm going to give it another 5 minutes or so. It's already, as you can see, quite crisped up. Just going to give it another 5 for, I don't know, for luck. And then I'm going to plate up. There it is. That is our finished chicken and bacon potato bake. I'm about to plate up. There it is. It refused to plate up nicely, but it does look tasty. So that's chicken and bacon potato bake served with broccoli and cauliflower. Okay, my third and final meal for this collaboration is chicken chow mein. I've got my ingredients here. Very, very simple. I've got some egg noodles, which I'm about to put into this pan of boiling water. I've got leftover chicken, half an onion, bag of stir-fry veg, and some chow mein sauce. So noodles are in. They just need to soften up, really. I've got some oil heating on in the pan. I've very finely sliced my onion. That's going into the oil when it's hot in a minute. And then I'm just going to dice up some chicken a bit smaller. So my onion has browned off. I've added a tiny little bit of garlic powder because I didn't have any fresh garlic. And a little tiny splash of soy sauce. However, if you didn't have those, it wouldn't really matter because the chow mein sauce that I bought in the packet has all the flavourings in it, so it wouldn't make any difference. I'm now going to put my diced chicken into the pan. I'm going to cook that around for a bit. It's already cooked, as you know, so it just really needs heating through. Next in is the stir-fry veg. Now, I have really overfilled this pan, if we're honest. But I like it because it's non-stick and my wok isn't really. My wok's a bit buggered. That's gone in frozen, so that's going to take a little while to cook through. Noodles are done, so I'm going to drain those off. So this is cooked, but I had overloaded the pan so much that I realised there was no way I was going to be able to fit the noodles and the sauce into the pan to stir it up. So I've transferred it into my big pot. And now I'm going to chuck my noodles back in. There go the noodles. I'm going to mix that round and then add the sauce. Okay, same problem I have every time, which is the noodles and the veg that aren't mixing very well together. I don't know what it is that I do wrong at that point. But it's pretty much done. I'm going to dish it up. And there is chicken chow mein for 4. So there we go. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching. As I said earlier, please do make sure you pop over and look at the other ladies' videos as well. Let them know that I sent you. Sent you, that sounds very orderly, doesn't it? That sounds very stern. Not sent you, that I showed you the way. Let them know where you've come from, and do please, like I said, hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed, and I'll be back soon with another video. Take care. Bye bye.